bought 15 sneakers this year and returned all 15 of them sneakers. Yes, I suck at buying sneakers. Surprise, surprise. I know, a black man not being good at buying sneakers. I be thinking these gonna be the ones, these ones right here, these are gonna be the ones that's gonna get me not only plenty of glurps, but plenty of fine females. Wrong! I ain't getting no females, and most importantly, I ain't getting no glurps. So that's why in today's video, I'm gonna show you the sneakers I regret buying the most so you don't make the same mistake I did. Trust me, you don't wanna look like me at 22 years old with 50 sneakers bought and all 50 of them being sold back within the same week. And at the end of this video, I'll show you the mistakes I made continuously that stopped me from having a good shoe collection that is probably stopping you as well that you need to hear about all the way at the end of this video. The first shoe that I regret buying isn't even as bad as of a regret as your mom deciding to birth you in the first place. However, it's still a pretty bad regret and a regret of so many athletes, and that's the Vapor Maxes. These are the worst shoes to ever be created. I'm sorry, Nike, what were y'all thinking with these, man? And you're probably saying, Ezra, why the hell would you buy Vapor Maxes? I was bored and I thought, you know what, if I could pull off some Air Maxes, I should be able to pull off some Vapor Maxes. Wrong! Not only is the silhouette completely different, it's ass. Just buy their Air Maxes, gang. The Air Maxes are way better and they're mad uncomfortable. This V taper is narrowing down on my toenails. These are not made for sports. If I wore these in a basketball game, I'm taking them off and I'm playing the rest of the game with no shoes on. But for Air Maxes, I know they can be tight as well. However, just size up one. That's all you gotta do. For Vapor Maxes, I normally wear a size 12. I bought a size 14 and I still couldn't fit in them hoes. But stay away from Vapor Maxes. They are completely trash. Do not buy these. Before I come hunt you down and remove the shoe from your closet myself. The better thing about Air Maxes too is they're a little bit thicker in the front, which give you that just that better silhouette. And I hate the clear bubbly bottoms these niggas got, man. Look at these, man. Nike, step up your game. But another shoe that's surprisingly hated by most people that you cannot be seen wearing is the New Balance 574s. Not gonna lie, Genki, I fell for the trend, like usual, man. Talking about how these is up next, and if you could put these on, you one of the toughest niggas in the game. Hey, man, I fell into that trap and I instantly regretted it. When these bot-ass sneakers started going viral, I bought these because everyone else is buying them. And it was my first time getting into New Balances with no guidance. I instantly realized everybody with New Balances knows, get the New Balances with smaller end logos, not those big capital N's that be taking up the entire side of the shoe. I hate these. Look at these. It's ugly. It's too prominent. I find it annoying. I thought, well, if I'm just gonna put these on some sweats or even some jeans, these will work perfectly fine. Wrong. You could possibly pull these off, but I'm gonna keep it real. I struggled. And if I struggled, you gonna struggle too. Sorry, buddy. Hey, we're in the same boat here. And I don't know, man. Every time I see that big ass N letter, I be thinking like it's trying to call me a nigga or something. Like, I don't know. The shoe that surprisingly isn't hated and isn't constantly calling me the N word is a shoe that I, as well as the entire human population on earth, hate, and that's Black Forces. I'm sorry, gang. You will never catch me wearing a pair of Black Forces a day in my life. I'm not no YN thug killing human being. That's just not me. I'm not one of them niggas. Remember, I'm one of the good ones. I play basketball and I ain't had no shiesty on growing up, man. I had a 3.6 GPA, man. I was an academic demon, man. Honestly, I bought these a couple years ago, kept them in a box, and have never opened the box ever again. These shoes are like your school thigh. Everybody gets a piece of the school thigh. And when it's your turn, it just doesn't feel special. That's what Black Forces and really just Air Forces in general feel like to me. I feel like everybody got Air Forces, especially black ones. I want a girl that makes me feel special. And I'm not finding that with these sneakers. I'm sorry. 3 out of 10 trash. Get these out of here. But a better alternative of black shoes that are cheap that you want to wear as beaters are some New Balance 1000s. These shoes are not only way more comfortable, but they add 2 to 3 inches to your height. Boy, I went from 6'2" to 6'5" in these. I'm not even trolling with you, gang. But for my short kings, you gotta cop these. Now we got the Prestos. Actually, this is the worst shoe Nike has ever created. This gotta be somehow worse than Vapor Max. And Vapor Maxes are already at an F tier. How do you get worse than an F tier? These are some of the ugliest sneakers I've ever seen created. And unfortunately, I've been cursed with an autistic brand that decided to buy 2 pair of these back in 2021 because I thought these were tough. I no longer think this. And when I tell you, these are the worst sneakers to ever be created. Every time I hopped in these, I scored 0 points. I'm black. I'm supposed to be good at basketball. And most importantly, I got no hoes. I want hoes. I couldn't impress no cheerleaders at the basketball game. These suck, and I bought the ugliest designs of them all. Look at these designs. I had 0 good decision-making skills back then. I don't know what 17-year-old Ezra was thinking at that time. Matter of fact, I don't even think I was thinking at all. I had a 12 on the ACT. Now, an even worse shoe that you must avoid at all costs. This shoe is like the plague. It spreads everywhere, and it's so contagious. It might get you too. Actually, there is one cure, and the cure is just to not buy it. Just don't buy it. Don't listen to your friend. Do not not buy Panda Dunks. These are not a good starter shoe. I'm gonna keep it real. It's the worst starter shoe out of all the starter shoes you can get. Not only are these shoes basic, and not only are these shoes ugly, but they're worthless. You gonna sell these for $15 at your local reseller. Gang, they're not worth more than $15. What? I'm trying to get my money back, gang. I invested in these for $115 2-3 years ago, and now they worth what, $15? I remember when these joints costed $300. $300? I'm taking Jordan 1s over these, and I hate Jordan 1s. I don't know what's worse, Panda Dunks or cancer, genuinely. Ew, look at them, ew. And it's the fact that people still hit me up in the DMs to ask me whether or not they should buy these in the Big 25 or not. No, do not buy these. I've said them a million times, don't buy them. You already get no holes. Why are you trying to make it worse? Also, these are mad uncomfortable, and I'm not, look, I'm gonna keep it real. Dunks have never really been the most comfortable shoe, but come on, man. You uncomfortable, and you basic, and you're worthless. And they make every outfit look bad. I can't find one good outfit that look good with Panda Dunks. I'll see some dude on Pinterest put these on with the best fit possible, and it still looks trash. Also, there are better color variations of Dunks to buy out there. Even the newer Dunks, really, I'm not gonna lie, are much better than the standard original Dunks that launched years ago. They suck, 0 out of 10, trash, never buy them. Now, Ezra, should I buy Jordans? No! In the Big 25? Come on, man, this ain't the 1940s or whatever Michael Jordan was playing. I don't know, the 40s, 50s, 20s. Hey, man, sometime during slavery, that's all I remember. Jordan 1s are the most basic shoe that ever exists. Let's just get that straight. They're not bad, they're not great. They're all right at the most, and I get it, there's a lot of hype between the off-white ones. I see the hype, I see why people like it, but honestly, it's just not my aesthetic. If it's yours, hey man, go cop them. But I got a love-hate relationship with Jordans, and the reason is they are the most inconsistent brand I've probably seen besides Nike. Let's keep it real. Some Jordans are fire, the other ones be trash. I'm gonna say this, the greatest ones to buy right now in the game are the 4s. However, everything else, I honestly regret. I feel like all the other designs are so outdated. Yes, I could understand 11s, and I understand the hype for 13s, but there are still other better athletic shoes out there. I'd rather wear Asics than Jordans. I'm gonna keep it real. And I never thought I'd say that. In 7th grade, if you told me I'd be saying that, I'd be thinking I'm tied up as a hostage by a bunch of Mexicans, cartel members, with a knife to my head telling me to say Asics are better than Jordans. I regret all my Jordans except the 4s. And 4s are the most flexible with today's modern styles, like vintage to baggy to even just straight modern. However, you can't even hoop in these. Every real hooper knows you're not supposed to hoop in Jordans. Not for the looks, because of how uncomfortable they are, but a shoe that is surprisingly supposed to be so good that you can't fall into the trap of buying. And they're trying to be something that they're not, are the Vans Skate Highs. These were made as almost a combination of the Vans old schools and the Chuck Taylors being combined in one, but it just doesn't work that way. Vans are good at one thing and Chuck Taylors are good at another thing. They're both canvas sneakers, but one is meant for being high top and the other ones are low top. It's just that simple. Do not combine these. And for some reason, every time I wore these, I just kept telling myself Chuck Taylors just look better. And when it comes to low top sneakers, Vans just look better. I'm just gonna keep it at that. There's no point in combining these two. We didn't ask for this. Nobody asked for these. And this begs me to question, why even buy them in the first place? I bought them because, you know what? I said, this might work out. This might be a good alternative to Chuck Taylor. Wrong. I'm gonna keep it real. Just stick with Chuck Taylors. They look better, especially with jeans. For some reason, Levi's and Chuck Taylors, you're not beating that combination. But trust me, those are not as bad as the Birkenstock Arizonas. Honestly, bro, if you decide to buy these 2-strap sandals, ganky, you must hate the idea of attracting females. And that's okay. We support everybody here. But I'm gonna keep it real, gang. I like the hum. I can't take these shit serious. I love Birkenstocks. They give off this casual, laid-back, homeless looking earth tone that I love, which allows me to look homeless in a way. As you can see, I love using the word homeless to describe this aesthetic. These 2-strap sandals, which I personally hate 2-strap sandals, the only reason I bought these is because I fell into the trap once again, thinking I was gonna be able to rock. Wrong! Let's keep it real. Being homeless has a lot of advantages. 1, you don't have to pay the bill. 2, that's about it. There are cheaper 2-strap sandals out there, and they just give off that Adam Sandler 38-year-old dad attire that comes off as a midlife crisis. You look like your wife just divorced you and took your kids, and now you're just walking across the beach trying to relive your glory youthful day, which you'll never relive. Grow up. Definitely one of the worst purchases I've ever made. But what if you win the lottery one day? Think about it. One day you go to the gas station, that one ugly dude Larry gets what he says, you won the jackpot, you won the lottery, $1 million, and now you're able to afford whatever designer you dream of, and you decide to be a dumbass and buy the Amiri skeletons like me. Now look, I didn't win no lottery. I just have a cousin who let me wear them for free. Amiri skeletons are probably the ugliest designer shoe I've ever seen. Honestly, it looks like you just gave Panda Dunks to a bunch of Hot Topic employees and they decided, you know what? Let's go with this. $700 on this trash? My nigga, genuinely, what outfit do you own in that musty ass closet of yours that actually goes with these shoes? Nothing. Nothing in that musty ass closet of yours goes with these shoes. Like I said, my cousin let me try on a pair of these and I couldn't find one good outfit with these. And honestly, when I went outside, a lot of people looked at me like I was crazy wearing these. Not because, oh, you got designer on, because who the hell would decide to buy these shoes? Not designer worthy at all. However, the shoe that I probably regret the most buying this past summer are the green and blue Gazelles. These are so ass compared to the Samba variations of the green and blue Sambas. Not gonna lie, I hate the way they fade into the brown. Online, they look like, you know, it looks like a normal fade. I looked at that fade, it was probably the worst fading of bottoms into tops that I've ever seen in any shoe design. Also, the brown that they use just isn't a good looking brown. I feel like all fashion brands can agree with there's just one good looking brown, and it's this brown right here. And every time you find another clothing piece, it matches that brown because they know, you know what? Let's make it easier for these guys. Let's make all our browns the same so it's easier for these consumers to match their products with. Wrong! Adidas decided, let's be different. This is probably the ugliest brown that I've ever seen. Sambas has way better alternative colors, variations that I'd rather buy. I'll take the Taekwondos over the Gazelles any days, unless it's just the black or white Gazelles. The black or white Gazelles look great. Everything else, trash. Do not get them from the Gazelle collection. For some reason, I don't know what it was, there's less space for your toes to move in these shoes than there are in Sambas. That's just a personal opinion of mine. Now, a designer trend that has been very trendy the past couple of years that I think you're gonna regret buying, probably gonna buy this one day, and you're gonna have the same opinion I have, and that's the Margiela Gats are so overrated. $750 for these? I'm especially picky when it comes to designer, man, because who the heck wants to spend $750 on designer and return it a half week later? Bro, I'm spending $750 on designer. You have to deliver. Your job is to make the $750 feel worth it. I could have bought heroin with that money. They're so basic, especially for a brand like Margiela, who are very creative in a lot of their products, and they look good until you put them on and realize they're just not worth the hype, and they have a little bit of a skill gap. White, I think, is a color that is probably the hardest color for most people in fashion to rock perfect. I think all white fits can be very difficult to rock with, and I feel like these shoes are meant for all white, tan colored fits, which are pretty difficult, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of these days, if it's not in the old money aesthetic, it's not gonna look right. And honestly, as someone who wears a lot of dark colors, I shouldn't have bought these from the jump, but guess what? I thought, you know what? I could pull these off, because I could pull off Sambas, I could pull off anything. I could pull off Air Forces, anything. Wrong! I could not pull Margielas off. They do have the similar bottoms that are typical with your Sambas and Forces. They also crease mad easily compared to most sneakers. I thought once you get to the designer category, oh, creases just don't happen. Wrong! That is a complete myth. I don't know who created that guy on Reddit who said that. You're a liar. Another shoe that I regret badly that you will most likely buy in a couple of years because I see the trend already starting is the Nike Blazer. Buddy, my biggest regret with these is that I didn't size up. Do not size down in these. They will squeeze the breath out of your feet. The grip these shoes have on your feet is equivalent to the death grip Shorty be giving you when you're about to experience a human vacuum. Please size up. Don't get the different colorways like these. I'm sorry, gang. Just stick to the basic variations that you normally see at your stores. However, I also decided to buy an ugly pair that was just one of the ugliest colors I could have ever decided to buy. I don't know why I bought this variation. I'm kind of autistic. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't make the best decisions. And when I put these on with the fit that I had in mind that I thought was gonna be the greatest fit of all time, I ended up deciding, you know what? I'm just gonna return these shoes. And I'm also gonna return this fit because this was probably the worst fit I could have ever created. I can't even show y'all the fit because it was that bad. But the biggest reason why you keep buying shoes that you keep regretting, it comes down to a couple of factors. One, you keep falling into trends, which can be a good and a bad thing, but there's a limit. The biggest piece of advice is to not fall into trends all the way. For example, I bought those two-strap sandals only because of the hype, only because I like Birkenstocks and I thought I was gonna pull these off as well. When I have a personal hate for two-strap sandals, I shouldn't have bought them, but I still did it. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Learn from my mistakes. However, another situation occurred where I decided to buy the Jordan 4 Black Hats, which were viral. Man, I was in them hoes faster than Gideon was on your local child predator. And did I like them? I wore them every day for a whole year. You think I didn't like them? I loved these. Just to find out the guy I bought them from gave me a fake pair. Lesson 11. Don't trust a Mexican selling sneakers behind a taco truck. I was 16, all right? Y'all gotta chill. So yeah, experiment with trends, but if it's something that's hot right now and you don't like the look of it, off the rip, or you're just skeptical of a few of its designs or a couple flaws that you see within the sneaker, don't buy it. But Ezra, how do I know if my sneakers are valid or not? Join my Discord. We just hit 5,000 members. I rate my viewers' outfits on there live every other day on Twitch, so make sure you follow me there. I'm probably live right now. Come say hi. Follow me on Instagram too for more updates. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and like the video if you enjoyed. But click this link down below. This special link right here. You see it? It has all my best fashion videos. Click on that link and you're gonna learn how to dress. But if you want to know what are the best shoes to buy this year, click this video right here. I promise you, you won't regret it. Let y'all boys know Diddy, no Diddy, no Diddy.